Whether you are cooking for your family, throwing a big party like one of the, Easter holidays or something coming up, or just making a nice meal for yourself, you need to keep in mind food safety and ways to avoid foodborne illnesses, because no one wants to get sick. Here to help answer your questions about best practices when cooking or grilling is Josh Cooke with Raise the Grade. He helps area restaurants boost their health ratings by showing them the best kitchen practices. So today he's going to share them with you. He's also taking your questions. So what you can do is text our expert. The number on the screen is 336-379-5775. Your question is anonymous, but you're going to get it answered here in real time. All right, so let's just start with the basics, shall we? No one wants to make themselves or their family members sick. So you say that there are three main ways that we can prevent foodborne illnesses. What are those three ways?
Absolutely. So it certainly all starts with the three main topics: proper hand washing. On top of that, of course, preventing cross-contamination, and overall just making sure you're doing a good job controlling time and temperature of your foods.
Okay, so the hand washing and proper temperature and things of that nature. Let's talk about that. Let's go in depth just a little bit. I know people think that they know that how to wash their hands, right? But you say hand sanitizer is not a substitute, and hand washing isn't really about what they think it's about.
100%. And in fact, it's actually against federal labeling guidelines for any company to make the claim on their hand sanitizer product that they eliminate viruses. Now, they will reduce bacteria, but really the whole goal is to rinse everything off your hands. And the common misconception is hand washing, we're trying to kill germs. Well, that's not really the case. We're just really trying to scrub everything off. And honestly, it's the most effective way to prevent not only foodborne illness, but say most other communicable illnesses as well. And so you want to start just by scrubbing, with the hand sanitizer. Get back to that. It does not eliminate viruses, specifically norovirus, which is the #1 foodborne illness in the entire country by far. Over 20 million people a year get norovirus. It's also been coined the cruise ship virus. So hand washing is first and foremost certainly the direction that we want to go.
Okay. All right. So wash the hands, not to kill the bacteria, but to get all the stuff that's off your hands, right? You say 20 seconds.
20 seconds, you have the whole process. And really the most important part is scrubbing with hand washing. And it's that scrub time, that friction, back and forth motion for 10 to 15 seconds. And in doing that, you'll actually have a 2-log reduction in both viruses and bacteria, which are just foreign viruses, pathogens that are on the surface of the skin, and sending that stuff down the drain. So again, very simple concept. But it's one thing that I think hand sanitizer is kind of getting misused and used often in place of hand washing. It really should be the other way around.
Gotcha. All right. I think there are going to be people at home, though, who are like, well, I'm just making it for me and my family. I know where my hands have been. And you say what to that?
Oh, well, if you have kids like I do, young kids too, there's a lot of stuff. There are a lot of germs in the house that are just brought in from the environment outside. And there's no telling what we may have picked up during the day too. At that point, and pets, right, if they are in the house too, can certainly bring things in as well. And so I would say certainly hand washing is certainly going to not only just eliminate foodborne illnesses or reduce the risk of that too, but you'll have less head colds, which I think we'll all be happier about too.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about cross-contamination. This actually started kind of like a debate in the newsroom today when we started talking about cross-contamination when it comes to cooking raw meat. So this is all about like the tongs you use or the fork that you use. So let's say you stab a piece of chicken, right? That's raw. And then you stick it into the pan. What happens then?
Okay. Yeah. Let's settle this debate here too. And really, you just need two, right? And so, whether you're on the grill or at the stove, and you're using tongs or a fork. So you basically just use one utensil, like tongs on the grill, or tongs, or a fork on the stove for just pretty much the whole time you're cooking. And then you just, once you're done cooking, you're about ready to take it out of the pan or off the grill. Well, then you want to throw that utensil that you've used into the dishwasher and let the dishwasher kind of do its thing at that point. And then you just have the second one simply for just taking the food out of the pan, off the stove, or the second set of tongs just removing from the grill too. So that way you're really eliminating any chance of cross-contamination just through that utensil, of course.
Okay, so you got hamburgers, you got chicken, you brought them out on a plate and you had them on a fork. Both of those things need to go in the dishwasher. You cannot put anything back on that plate, and you cannot use that fork anymore.
Well, as long as everything's been properly cooked, I mean, you can put other things on that plate too, but still, it's just really a matter of making sure that anything that touched any kind of raw meat or raw protein doesn't touch anything else, or it goes directly into the dishwasher once you're done with it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So a lot of times we, kind of put stuff in our refrigerator, kind of wherever it can go, because that's what my refrigerator looks like at the moment. Wherever there's a spot, that's where I'm sticking stuff. But you say we need to have a specific spot for storing raw meats in the fridge. Why is that?
For sure. And so, residential refrigerators that we all have at home, of course, they're not really designed with proper food safety practices in mind. And so, for example, our refrigerator at home, we actually use a bin on the bottom. And you really want to have one dedicated bin for all of your raw proteins, right? And so that's whether, you're buying them fresh and you're just storing until you're ready to use them, or if you're taking them out of the freezer to thaw them out. And again, it's okay for raw proteins to kind of commingle because they're going to be cooked once you're done with them too. But that way, if they're on the bottom, something starts to leak, which things do, right? Things leak as they start to thaw out. The packaging may get torn, right? And you get, kind of raw meat juices and blood and things that can kind of spill out. So you want to make sure all of that is isolated to one bin and it does not get a chance to drip down onto anything else below, like your fruits and vegetables or anything like that might just be ready to eat.
Okay. All right. So we need to make sure that we've got, like those drawers, we actually need to use one of them for a meat drawer and we need to use the bottom one for the meat drawer.
Absolutely. Certainly on the bottom. So we actually use the drawer that's labeled fruits and veggies in our home refrigerator just for that purpose. So, and again, that's where you can put a new label on it or just know that that's a raw meat drawer for sure. Not have any issues there.
Okay.